Hey guys, how we doing? We're all the way live, all the way live. How we doing today? Come on in here. How are you doing? It's your girl, Sherri Somers, your revenue master life coach. How are you doing? Happy month. Yay! So come on in here. Come on in here. Happy day. I know it's kind of I'm on East Coast. Well, I'm on Eastern Standard Time. So it's early. It's like 8:30 a.m. in here. Come on in here. As you come on in, say hello, say good morning. How are we doing today? In this video, we're going to be talking about I wasn't trying to make six figures. Here's what I was trying to do. I think you're going to get great inspiration from this video, this a quick stream. So come on in here. Tell us who you are. Tell us what you're doing. Tell us what you're doing right now. I'm excited. It's Monday. We're getting ready to kick off the week. We're getting ready to start the week with a bang. We're going to hit the week. So come on in here. I love my group, Faith, Favor, and Finance. I love that group because we're always about breaking our limited belief system when it comes to our finances and building so we can build financial confidence. And I love that. We walk by faith in this group. I love Faith, Favor, and Finance group because we learn how to walk by faith in this group. Good morning. I'm so excited. I'm so glad to have you guys in this group and have you here. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to make sure that I can also see your comments too, as long as I also can see it in there. Y'all, okay, good. It's up and it's running. Good. I'm testing it to make sure I can hear you. Yeah, make sure I can hear you. Awesome. Yes, good morning to Cynthia. How you doing? Good morning. It's your girl, Sherri Somers, your revenue master life coach. So let me get into this really fast, really fast, because I know it's early. I know you guys got things that you have to do. I wanted to start by saying this. Welcome to the group. Welcome to Faith, Favor, and Finance. If you haven't already in the group, make sure you come over to Facebook because I'm also streaming for on YouTube as well. I have a group on YouTube as well. So I'm also streaming over there as well. I wanted to just drop a nugget right now today. I just wanted to just come in here and inform you about how all this even came to be, right? So as a revenue master life coach, there are times that in my business, in my life, you guys have seen comments where I talk about my fear. Yes, I just comment on your fear post. Yes, I was just about to say, there are times in my life, like I literally my entire life is a testimony. Like my entire life of all the things that I fear, all the things I went through, a divorce. I went through a situation where my credit score is 430. I went through a situation where single mom. I went through listen, I am transparent when it comes to my business, going through a difficult divorce and getting behind in my car payment and get behind in my mortgage. I can talk about money because I've lived that life and I've lived the life that I've been through. Let me tell you something. The rock bottom will prepare you for the mountaintops. Say it with me. Rock bottom will prepare you for the mountaintop. So when at those rock bottoms times, and most of you guys already know my story, my son Dylan passed out of school unresponsive, not breathing, and that in my law enforcement career, I was in corrections and law enforcement field. That in my career there because I needed to be home with my son. So when I started in this space, of trying to be an entrepreneur, when I'm trying to be an entrepreneur. Janita said, sure will. Yes, it does. When I was trying to be in that space of the entrepreneurship business, what happened is that space will require me to make some money. So I say goodbye to law enforcement, say goodbye, put a hand in my gun, hand in my badge. And at the time, now I got to figure out how this mompreneur get money to pay these mortgage. So now I'm just end up freshly out of a divorce, freshly out of quitting my job. What am I going to do? So I wasn't trying to make no six figures. I was just trying to do whatever I got to do. I just was trying to do whatever I have to do. So in that rock bottom moment, I never one time felt like, okay, this is going to be permanent. So that's the first thing I want to go with you. Whatever situation you understand that things go through is a season, right? Pain is a season. It's this, everything we go through is a season. Pain, prosperity is a season. So that's why you hear people say rejoice in your season, because they know that it's only a season, right? This too shall pass. Rock bottom will prepare you for mountaintops. Yes, that is so true. So in that rock bottom moment, I'm now out of a husband, one income coming in. I have no job, no money coming in. I went into fasting, right? So this whole thing of me, faith, favor, and finance, this group, this whole thing is because I kept saying it's not revenue, it's not marketing strategy that alone that got me where I am today. It's my faith, it's me, my perseverance. And I wanted to create an atmosphere of women who can also report back their faith and report back how favors has worked in their life, because it wasn't just about marketing. It just was about strategy. It wasn't just that, just a place where we can start talking about your faith. Like I can give you strategies all day, but if your faith is not aligned, if your mindset is not picking up when I'm putting down, you're not going to get it. So I created this faith, favor, and finance group out of the capacity of what I've been through in my life, getting a divorce. When I got divorced, I had to pay my husband $10,000. Yes. Why? Because I was a breadwinner, right? And I had to pay him out, right? So I lost that. 8 months behind my house. 4 months behind on my car payment. They were coming to get my car. I can tell you the stories of what I was being through. So I wasn't thinking about making those six figures. What I was thinking about just to pay some bills. That's what I was thinking about. Can I just pay my bills? Can I just get back up in my bills? Can I move that credit score from 400 to 30? Can I move it to just like $500? Can I just move that? I can tell you my testimony before. So when you hear me on this platform talk about money and charge your worth and all this stuff, I'm telling you because I've been there. I've been in that season in my life. I've been in that situation. And all I wanted was just love. Love cost me everything, right? So in the moment of that, I had to deal with some stuff with myself. I had to deal with some choices of why I choose the man that I choose. I had to choose what is my worthiness. I had to think about that. I wasn't trying to make six figures. Stay with me. I was trying to figure out. So I took a whole year off. I took a whole year of self-searching off. I focused on my business. I focused on my child. And of course, I focused on my God. So in that point, I said, I did not date. I focused only solely on my life because I wanted to know what makes Sherri happy. What makes Sherri sad? Why is Sherri upset? What emotions drive Sherri? What is Sherri why? And I didn't want any distraction in figuring me out. So I took that time to learn me. I took that time to analyze me. I stayed in heavy meditation early in the morning. Y'all know I'm an early riser. 4 a.m. Eastern Standard Time is what time I get up. And I spend that time rejoicing with God and talking with God and listen to things that are around God, listen to music and all this stuff. And I give him time to give me answers for what my day is going to be. So when I started out in my business, it wasn't about this is the amount I'm setting out to make. It was more about this is the amount I'm setting out to make, but God can pivot it at any time. I give him space and I give him room to do what he do. I started doing things by my strength and my strength wasn't working. So I had to end up giving up. I had to be like, okay, God, I surrender. I just can't do it by myself. I just can't really figure this thing out by myself. I need help. I need help in moving forward. I need help in your divine power because there's some places that God is going to take you that you have to be prepared for. You have to be ready for it. That's why when people are trying to rush into things, don't rush success because your mind has to be developed. If I give you $1 million right now and you don't know how to spend that $1 million, you will lose it in 2 months, 3 months. Ask the lottery winners, ask the people who have won lottery money and don't have it the next year because we have not conditioned mind to be disciplined to accept the blessings that God has given us. So during the process of losing all this stuff, I kept praying and I kept having fasting. I kept going to meditation and I kept working strategy because faith without works is dead. And every time I go on a podcast, every time I'm featured somewhere, one of the biggest questions people ask me is, well, how did you make 12K? Or how did you make 85K? How did a single mom divorce? How did you do all that? And one of the things I want to share with you is the reason why I was able to do all that wasn't just the work that I put in. God knows I put in some late nights, but it was more about my spiritual faith. It was more about my faith. It was more about my faith than it was the actual practical strategy. It was more about learning me and believing that I am worthy. Good morning, Virginia. Good morning, beautiful. It was more about me and knowing that I have the ability to do what thus says the Lord, right? I would see other people who are successful and they're not thinking in a godly manner and they're successful. So I'm like, well, what about me? Right? I wasn't looking to make six figures. I wasn't trying to hit six figures. What I was looking for is, Lord, can I pay my bills so I can have schedule to be with my son? That's it. Lord, can I pay my bills? But when you're asking God to give you guidance on paying your bills so you can have the finances to be home with your family, or to be flexible, or it's 8:44 here and I'm here talking to you right now. It's a blessing when you're humble. When I asked him, Lord, can I pay my bills? So in doing so, I knew I had to be walking in awareness. Write that down. I first have to walk in awareness. And when I started walking awareness is being objective, knowing that there are different ways to see situation, knowing that you see situation that's beyond what other people see, knowing that what you see in your bank account, the relationship that you have, this is not it. There's more. There's always more. That's what I mean by walking in awareness. So when I started walking in awareness that, hold up, and I back up my belief system based on biblical principles. Let me say it again. I backed up my belief system based on biblical principles. So if I feel like you're a Black woman, you can't be successful, I find something in the Bible that says I can be successful. Now unto him who is able to do exceedingly above all that I ever asked, Ephesians 3:20. Or you're a single mom, you can't be successful. I find Lisa Nichols, who was a single mom, who is successful. Every time that something come up on me that tells me I can't do this, or I can't do that, or I can't go into a successful relationship again, I find something to back up, or someone to back up what thus said the Lord. I find a biblical principle to back up something to make me believe, to shift my belief system. I'm going to have a live on this on Tuesday morning at 1:00 that dig deeper than this. But the first thing I had to do, ladies, is I had to first surrender my calling. I had to first surrender my calling. The biggest thing, as cliche as it may sound, I had to realize that this business, Sherri Somers Unlimited Services, my revenue master life coaching, is not for me. It's not for me. So the people who God has called me to serve. So I first have to surrender that this is not me. So every time there's a problem that comes up, the problem is not for me to figure out. The problem is for the person who sent me to equip me to do his will. Because everything you do leads back to leading leading people back to God's kingdom. So the first thing I did was understand that I surrender everything off me and give it all to him. That's the first thing I did. I surrendered. I used my faith as a guide. There were times when I was growing my business and things would come up in my life that I didn't have the finances for to move forward. And what I would do, I would trust and believe that the resources and the information that I need would show up. Let me give an example of what I'm saying. There one part of my business, I may need something, but a person who have what I need, it may be a cost to it. And during the time of that cost, I would still show up like I'm doing right now, showing up and speaking my truth and speaking my guides. And the person who have what I need showed up and said, hey, you have what I need. The person who had what I need would show up and said, hey, listen, I'm listening to you and you have what I need and I need this and you need this. And we would exchange things, and it worked out where money was not even in the conversation. It was an exchange. Right. And God has done things like that. So number one, surrendering to your calling. And what is your calling? Your calling is you can't love God and still drive a Bentley. Your calling is you can still impact life and still make an income. Your calling is you can take a mess and make a message. Your calling is you can't have a test and have a testimony. I don't know who needed to hear this morning, but I want to make sure you know that you can do all that You can do all that. And if you need to get this in a replay, make sure you get this back on a replay. Don't let nobody tell you that you need to settle for less when God, your God, has already tell you that abundance and prosperity is yours. Don't let anyone tell you that you have to charge less for what you're worth. You got to surrender to your calling. You got to use your faith as your guide so that your faith can go places that you can't go. Your faith will make room for you that you didn't even show up in yet. Your name is in people's ears that you didn't even know that exists yet. So it's important to understand that. And then the third thing, which is forgive yourself for every mistake you make now and for every mistake you're going to make. Forgive yourself for every mistake you make now and for every mistake you're going to make. And that's okay, because if you don't make mistake, then what's the sense you need God for? The purpose of you make mistakes is that you're growing and learning, right? So if you want this perfect life where there's no mistake and there's no risk, and this is not the video for you, baby, because you risk and mistakes and being talked about and being ridiculed comes with the blessings of God. It comes with walking in his purpose. It's come with people seeing you're money hungry, or it come with people who don't understand you because they're living a poverty mentality. It comes with your family not understanding why you're going so hard. It comes with feeling like sometimes that you're alone. It comes with sometimes your bank account doesn't look like your blessing. It's going to come with all these things. And so when you're called, when you're a leader and you're called, you flow, not force. When you're a leader, you don't have to convince anyone to do anything. So I wasn't trying to hit six figures. I was just trying to pay my bills so I could have the freedom schedule to spend time with my son. I don't know who to hear this today, but you need to hear it today. Cynthia said, girl, you're talking to me. Tear of my answers in my prayers. Yes, I'm talking to you today. So when I surrender to my calling, when I use my faith as my guide, when I forgive myself for all the mistakes that I've made, right? Because how do we know we make those mistakes? When we started picking people or choosing things that is not of us. So I took the whole time to understand who I am in Christ, who God has called me to be. And there were times that things were happening that I could not explain. There were favors that was happening in my life that I could not explain. It had to be God. It had to be God. There was unexpected blessing that would show up that I didn't know about. And I was like, no, this had to be God. There's no other explanation for these favors showing up in my life. It had to be God. Right. And so therefore, I knew that it wasn't just about marketing. It wasn't just about strategy. When I break down my limited beliefs, when I break those down, my harvest began to show up. My harvest began to show up. When I started using excuses that my mom didn't have it or my mom didn't finish high school, and I started using these excuses, it didn't work for me. When I sit at places and when people are called on, when I'm called on, listen, yeah, oh my gosh. Let me tell y'all something. There are days I would sit inside of my room and watch people on videos or YouTube or conferences. And I said, one day, Lord, come on, don't be weary in good doings. One day that I'm going to be the one to be able to go sit at that conference. Notice I say sit at the table of that conference, be a part of that conference, sit. These conferences that I'm telling you that one day I had on my vision board to sit at the conference. Now I'm speaking on their at the platform. Now some of these people are, one day I say, I just want to sit in their presence. Now some of them are working for me, my business. Don't be weary in good doing. All you have to do is to build that muscle of faith and have faith of a mustard seed. So you have to forgive yourself and release yourself from all the issues that you did. Say, Lord, I'm sorry. Lord, I surrender. Because here's the thing. I will continue to make mistakes. That's what grace and mercy is for. So release yourself in thinking that you're not going to make no mistakes. Release yourself in thinking that what if it doesn't go right? What if it didn't turn out right? By the time what if there's somebody that's had the same problem as you and doing something and rejoicing and is more successful than you are because they choose to stop saying what if. They choose to stop saying what if. So I would look at different things and the success women who are more successful than me. And I would say, one day, Lord, I just want to be at their conference. I want to be at, and notice I said I just want to be in the audience. But great is he that is in me than he that is in the world. And now I'm looking at these same people. I'm on their platform. They're working for my company. And it just, God have a way of, so when you show up and when you surrender and when you walk by faith and when you forgive yourself, he will turn the avenues of your life around. And I can't tell you about anything else, but I can tell you about faith, favors, and I can tell you about finances. I never allow the numbers in my bank account to make a decision for me. Never. There are clients that work with me, and there are clients that work with me and say, I got the first bill share. I got the first payment. I didn't even know how the second payment was going to work out. That's what we talk about faith. That's what we talk about favors. And the next part, we talk about facing your fear. Facing your fear. Facing your fear means speaking up, going after your fear to where your fear has no room here. I'm talking to someone that said, listen, Sherri, there's nothing off limits. Nope. I tell y'all everything. I tell you about my bad credit score. I tell y'all everything. I tell you about my bad divorce. I tell you about loving someone. I tell y'all about leaving my job. I tell you everything because I have no more fear, because fear can't go where I'm going in my Beyonce voice. Fear can't go where I'm going. And I know there's a place that God is preparing me for and preparing you for. So whatever that fear is that we're allowing to stand in our way of speaking our truth. If I didn't come out here and tell you about all the stuff I went through, losing my hair, bad credit score, divorce, single mom, child getting sick, leaving my $42,000 job, behind a car payment, behind a mortgage. If I didn't tell you that, if I didn't tell you about all that stuff that I've been through to get to where I am today, if I didn't tell you about all the people that I was watching on social media or watching on Instagram or anywhere, watching them praying that one day I can be in their audience, and now I'm on their stage, and one day I just want to sit with Tony. I want to be in Tony Robbins' audience. One day I want to be in Robert Kiyosaki audience. One day I want to be in Lisa Nichols' audience. One day I want to speak on sit next to Stedman Graham, and all these people has come to fruition, but not because my marketing was good. It's not because my marketing was good. I showed up regardless of my fear. I started believing in myself. I showed up regardless of my feelings. I was at an event speaking, and one of the guys heard me speak and says, hey, and then he was speaking, and then he said, I want to have lunch with you. Turned out he was with Tony Robbins' team. And we had lunch, and it took off from there. God would position people for you to be in the right place at the right time as long as you show up and doing his will. So you learn how to forgive yourself, because on this journey, you're going to make plenty of mistakes. So as you forgive yourself for all the mistakes you've made in the past and you're going to make, number 4, learn how to forgive, face your fear. Number 5, learn how to forgive others as well. Learn how to forgive, because the same grace that you're asking for is the same grace you should be able to want to give somebody else. Come on now. Come on. I'm a pause for the cause right there. The same grace that you're asking to give somebody is the same grace that you're going to be asking for somebody to give to you one day. So learn how to give grace to other people as well. Learn how to lead with love. Virginia said, basically, we have to start speaking it into existence. Exactly. Speaking it. Oh my gosh, Virginia, you just stepped on some stuff right there. We're not asking big enough. Our ask is not big enough. What are some things in your life that you were asking God for before and it manifested and it show up? Because the same way it manifests before, it can do it. He can do it. He can do it. He can do it again. Remember when he did it before? Number 6, he will do it again. Remember when he did it before, he can do it again. Remember to give people grace. And giving people grace doesn't mean allowing them to become a habit. It just understand that you're not God. So you cannot hold anybody accountable for something they didn't do or did do. Because it's okay for us to ask for grace. But I mean, I watch a news media right now. We're ready to tear people down and ready to tear people down for their mistakes and the things that they've done wrong. I am not someone's judge. I'm not someone's keeper. I'm not someone's jury. I just got to make sure I'm still working on me. I'm going to be making some mistakes. I'm going to fail. It's not the failure. It's how you pick yourself up. How many times did God say he forgive you? What did he hear? 7 plus 7 or 7 times? 7 and 7 times. 7 and 7 times. 7 and 7 times. 7. Forgive that relationship that didn't work out. My ex-husband and I are really good friends now. Forgive them mistakes where they didn't work out. Before I step in this space of authority, I had to learn how to forgive people for the mistakes that they made. Forgive that friend that didn't know better. Forgive that mother that didn't understand you. Forgive that father that wasn't there. We got to learn how to forgive people for things that they just don't know. Or their mother didn't taught them, their father didn't taught them. So we got to learn how to forgive these people that did us wrong, that talk about us. And you're not forgiving them because you were writing your issue or they were writing their issue. You're forgiving them because you need to go to a higher level. You need to learn how to vibrate to a higher level because your abundance and prosperity is up there. And when you grow to a higher level, you can't take that with you. You can't take, God can't put you in industry with executives and corporation, make you $1 million, and you still have these emotional, childlike things that you're still dealing with. He want to use you for his kingdom. That's why you think rich people commit suicide, because they got up higher, they got rich, but they never deal with their mental state. They never deal with the things that was inside of them. So when they got up there, no matter how successful or rich they may have seen on the outside, the issue, they still have some mental issue. That's why you got to ask God now to deal with your grace, give you mercy, give you understanding, give you spiritual wisdom. That's why you got to ask for it now, so you can develop and condition your mind. So when you get to the mountaintops, you're prepared for it because you done been through some stuff. And when you've been through some stuff, you can know how to stand in grace. You know how to overcome some stuff. When we say we want to get into space, we got to be prepared and equipped with what this space comes with. When you say you want to run for office, or you want to go for county commission, or you want to be an online influencer, or you want to be a speaker, it comes with some type of authority. And when it comes to that type of authority, it comes with people talking bad about you, who you do, what you do, and all this stuff. It comes with it, the good and the bad. When much is given, much is expected. So what you're doing right now is you're building your muscles. What you're doing right now, this second, you're building your muscles. You're building your faith muscles. You're building your faith muscles. And when you start building your faith muscles, that means the things that used to attack you, used to get mad about, you won't get mad about it anymore. The conversation where you weren't there, you don't even bother you anymore. The person who they say hate you, you're so busy succeeding, you ain't got time to listen to what they're saying. You're in a space that God has called you to be. You're so busy with that, you don't even see anything else. You get to a point in your life where the things that people used to say about you, you can't listen anymore, because you know that comes with it. It's like a president want to be a president and don't know people are going to talk about you. Like it just go with it comes with the territory. So there's much, when much is given, much is expected. So I truly believe that at some point in time, what God is doing is conditioning you. So you're saying, God, why am I not further ahead? God, why am I not further ahead financially? God, why am I not further ahead mentally? I always say, God, give me the grace for where I am today. Because where I am today is definitely not where I was before. So right now you're building your faith muscles. So you're equipped. So when things happen at the mountaintop, you don't fall off. When things happen at the mountaintop, you're not quick to jump off and get mad and get upset and make decisions from your emotions. When things happen at a mountaintop, you can sustain it because you have conditioned for this. You build muscles for this. When the first person talk about you, or the first person say they don't like your product, or they don't like your system, or they don't like something, you have the muscle sustain it, where you understand it's a business, not personal. I have clients in my life insurance business, agents. I would tell them, I said, listen, this is a business. Don't get emotional. They say no to you, say no to you. You know, this is business. So you got to build your faith muscles for where you're trying to go. You don't build your faith muscles when you get there. You build your faith muscles now so you can sustain where he's trying to take you. Building that muscle to stand in things that people fall in. Build that muscle to where pain, tragedy, financial issue, relationships come up on you. You may lose a relationship, but you don't lose you. Oh, come on, y'all. You may lose the relationship, but you don't lose you in the process. You don't lose you in the process. And I still don't think if it's losing if you're growing. Today, I own properties. Today, I no longer have that 430 credit score. Today, I'm in a happy relationship. Today, I'm surrounded by successful millionaire women. Today, I have some successful clients. Today, I can still control my schedule. Today, I'm not behind on my car payment no more. Today, but it took building faith muscles. It took being okay with family members not understanding what I'm doing. But it took trusting the process. But it took believing in God's strength, not mine. It says, seek ye first the kingdom of God. It took understanding that I may fail along the way. I may do some things wrong. It took that there's understanding season, that there's season time and harvest time. It took me surrounded. It took me self-dying. Die to self. That's what it took. It took me the self. I had to kill the self, kill the pride, kill the ego. If I had these pride and if I had this ego, I want to tell y'all what I've been through. It's like ego die, self die. It took that. Good morning, Jamela. How you doing, gorgeous? Ego, pride, and all that stuff died because guess what? God is a radical God, and He's going to tell you to do something. There are times I'm somewhere or I'm speaking somewhere, and I would say something to someone, and I'm like, Lord, you really want me to say that? So you have to kill that ego. You have to kill that pride. Because where He's taking you, it may require you to confess about the things you've been through. It may require you to use that mess as a message. It may require you to use that test as a testimony. I'm a better partner for my significant other now because of all the things that I've been through. Because I'm happy whether I have someone or happy whether I'm by myself. My happiness comes from me. I understand who I am. I understand that I'm not perfect and I'm still a work in progress, because if I was perfect, then I wouldn't need God. Understand that and accept that and believe that. I also understand that it's okay for me to live the life that I want to live. It's okay for me to have the things I want to have, because I not only work hard for it, but I have a God that tells me that I can have it. It's okay because I'm building my faith muscles. It's okay that every time I step somewhere, I expect to be blessed. I expect God to show up. Every time I open my eyes, it's giving me another opportunity to reap the benefits of a descendant of Abraham. Every time I wake up, every time someone talk to you, and I'm going to end here. Every time someone talk to you, they should leave better than the way they came. This life is not for you or me. This life is for whatever God says it is. But during that time, listen, we have one life to live. But if you live it right, one is all you need. One is all you need. So if I can remind you to do anything today, it's to go in God's speed, not your speed. If I can remind you to do anything today, that where you are today, this second, understand that it's required. Is building your muscles for the mountaintops. It building your muscles so when you get up higher, you can sustain. You don't have to fall off. I've been in here 2015 consistently online since 2015, going strong. When some people stop, go, stop, come back, I'm still here since 2015. And it's not by my will or my power. I realized it wasn't marketing. It wasn't just my marketing strategy, as good as it is. It wasn't just about showing up. It's the fact that I learned to walk by faith. When you learn how to build your muscles and walking by faith, you can reap favors. When I learned not to look at my account to make a decision that God has called me to do, use it as a guide, not just a decision making at the end and all. When I learned to kill my ego, when I learned to kill my pride, when I learned to speak the truth, when I learned of working in integrity, that's when my blessings begin to overflow. That's when I'm called to be places I never called to be before. That's when things start happening for me. So if I can encourage you today, go with God's speed, not your speed. I know you're looking at yourself and say, man, I should be further ahead. Why am I not further ahead? There's a mental conditioning of the mind that need to be go further ahead first. Before, once your mindset is developed, your money is developed. Come on. I'm going to end there. Once your mindset is developed, so will your money. So it's not another client. It's not another funnel. It's not another marketing system. It's all your mindset. When you see how worthy you are, when you see how amazing you are, when you start loving yourself first, even on an airplane, he said, put your mask on before you put on even your child's mask. When you see the worthiness of you, when you see how God loves you, when your mindset is shift and reframe from your generation curse, you will now see not when your mindset raises and develop and condition, so will your money. I guarantee you. When you start seeing yourself differently, you start acting differently, your favors of your finance will start showing up. I don't know who you need to tag to be in this group, but you probably need to do it now. Tag them, invite them to come on in because they need to hear this as well. As soon as your mindset shift, so will your money shift. As soon as your mindset reframe, so will your money reframed. So why are we not sitting at $1 million? Or why our $1 million mindset is not there yet. Kawana said there's seasons to this thing. One of my clients, she says there's seasons to this thing. I was selling products for $47 because I didn't believe I could sell products for $2,000. It's seasons to this thing. So as soon as you start reframing your mind of what your worthiness is, then you realize that there's a mindset development that has to take place. There's season to this thing. See, here's the thing. There are clients that I take the same thing that they were selling for $50 or $97, and they're now selling it at $2,000. They didn't change the value. The value was already there. But it was their worthiness of themselves that they couldn't see that they were worthy. Understand that. Didn't change a thing about the results that they were showing or given. But I reframed their mind based on the way they think, based on the way they talk, based on who they hang out with, based on where they spend their time. And I reframe and recondition their mind in the way they think. So that same product that they were selling for $97, I reframed their mind, not the product, not the marketing, not the product, just themselves. And when other people start buying their product, their mind was transformed. I'm going to continue this tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Meet me here. But remember, I wasn't trying to hit 6 figures. I was just trying to move by God's speed. Y'all have an amazing day. What question y'all have for me before I go? She said, rejoice in your season. Exactly. I love that. Rejoice in your season. Jeanette said, rejoice in your season. Correct. And and rejoice in the season, honey, because be grateful. When you're so grateful for that season. Oh, Jeanette, girl. Yes. So let Monday, this day, be the day that you thank God for where you are today and ask him to open your spirit of awareness to see what your next step is to lead people to his kingdom. You can lead people to God's kingdom in any business, not just in church, at the airport, at the gas station, by just you living that light. Not being perfect, but you living that light. What questions do you guys have for me? I love to answer any questions before you go. Let's see. Oh, Cheryl said you bless. She said you bless me. This is just confirmation of what I posted. Oh, I love that. Look at us. We are all in season. Yes, yes. All right, guys. So join me tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Invite your friends to this group. I love to give away gifts. For the most people, invite people. I also love to give away gifts for everyone who has engaged engage in our lives. I'm a gift giver. I'm always giving away gifts. So make sure you do that and join me tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Talk to you later. It's your girl, Sherri Somers, your Revenue Master Life Coach. See you later.